Deadpool, Dr. Horrible's blog, Aquaman, Godzilla. 1 week to Comic-Con, and we are super excited. Tonight we have all the panels. We will walk you through all your can't miss events while you are there. Stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's The Con Guy, Comic-Con Prep Show.
Yes, what?
I was just saying, we're picking at you, pointing out every little mistake.
You know, you can sing along to that blog if you would like to.
Yes, that's true.
Welcome.
But it's called Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog. I was just saying that's the title.
Yes.
And this year's the 10th
He's
anniversary.
abbreviating it because he's familiar with this.
That's good. Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
that's
putting
why.
fewer and fewer words into these cold opens because I am trying to not mess up.
Exactly.
Speaking of which,
Good job.
welcome to the Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show. We are getting you ready for Comic-Con, which is next week. We have a whole room full of people that are going down. We're going to have a blast. We have our normal great host here. We have a cosplay specialist. We have somebody who programs for cons around the country, and we have somebody who knows Marvel inside out. Thank you very much. My name is Jim. I am the managing editor for theconguy.com. Hopefully you are paying attention to us. We also have a lot going on tonight with a little bit of news from Comic-Con, but we'll get to that in just a second. All right, let's go.
Okay. Hi, my name is Derek. I am a contributing writer to theconguy.com.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Kari Lane here, and I am a host here at Popcorn Talk and AfterBuzz TV, as well as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I'm Jandreau. I am an actor, host, stunt guy, lover of comics and all things pop culture. I host here, I host Screen Junkies, I host at Collider, I freelance at Nerdist sometimes, and I love everything about comics. And you, hi.
Wah, wah, wah.
Hi, I'm Ruth Ann Thompson of Geek Chic Promotions. A lot of people here on YouTube might know me as Bulma in Dragon Ball Z Light of Hope, but same as everybody else, kind of just been a nerd forever. But my company, I'm the president of events and sponsorships, so I do a lot of the programming for conventions all around the country.
I'm Katie. I am a nerd and just do costume design and cosplaying, and I just love everything. So that has to do with Comic-Con and
Katie
everything.
keeps me on my toes. She has texted me just about every other day with the brand new, guess what? Did you hear this? Did you hear this? Did you hear that? And I'm like, no, I didn't hear it. Thank you for letting me know. We do have one person who is missing tonight. Cheeseman on the couch. I think we have a picture, Anthony, of Cheeseman on the couch. This is Cheeseman and his family on the chair tonight. I'm just showing this to show you. Luke sends his best regards. Also, you notice that he's on the phone. He was on the phone with somebody negotiating a price for our hotel room downtown.
Hey, working hard.
This was today. This was today because we're trying to give our room over here to you.
Yeah,
we'll
it's
see
a
if
whole
that
thing.
happens.
The Comic-Con map. The shuffle is real.
The shuffle is real. All right. All right, thank you guys for showing up today. Boy, did we have a hot weekend or what?
Good God, Lemon, yeah.
I've been sleeping in the living room because that's where we have the air conditioner.
My air conditioner went out.
My roommate's doing that too.
I've got one of those portable ones,
just-
and it has that direct line of sight, and my poor cat has fur. So I just sit with my cat like Dr. Evil, just stroking him in the air conditioner all day. That's my
Yesterday,
life.
my roommate's cats were lying right. They found the spot. Like,
Yeah.
here's the AC, here's me playing Zelda, and they're like, we're gonna sit here right now.
Yeah.
I brought Spidey to Marvel. My cat's name's Spidey. I brought him to Marvel Movie
that's
News because
nice.
it was so hot. Like, I brought him
man.
here.
Well, it's too bad there was like a convention going on. You know, that's it's a good thing there was.
That's
AX.
where we were.
Yeah, the largest anime convention, pretty much in the world, probably.
Definitely North America.
Yeah.
Japan might have a bigger one.
Probably
but it's
guess.
Japan.
You know,
Funny
maybe.
that you guys should
Maybe.
bring that up. I would
Yeah,
love
right.
to
Talk about
hear. Yeah, can we talk about how did the convention go?
It was awesome.
We're talking about Anime Expo.
Anime Expo. It was the Wednesday, technically a day zero on Wednesday, but technically Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Super hot, but luckily you could spend most of your time inside the convention center, which was really cool. They did have some offsite things which were neat. Crunchyroll had a Crunchyroll HQ at LA Live, which was like, ooh, offsite event.
Yeah,
and
were you
then
able to go to that one? That's the only one I wasn't able to go
did.
to.
And I did an interview there too. So go to AfterBuzz TV Animation. I did 22 live stream interviews over the convention time, booth tours, individual interviews, and experience spaces. Cool. There's also a Rilakuma lounge space at the Lux Hotel. Super chill, like literally AC. They had beanbag things you could sleep on. One of the booths I talked to was Anime Please. So I'm wearing a shirt from that. It's Agratsuko, and which is a super funny anime if you've never watched it. Yeah, it was just awesome. Lots of interviews and saw a couple panels here and there, and yeah, Entertainment hall is way better this year than previous years. Normally it was like kind of small, like a couple cosplay things where you could take photos, but this year it just feels more like a E3 convention space of big. Blizzard had a space, Overwatch had a space, and Kingdom Hearts had a whole area where you could play their new game, and so yeah.
You know, I guess I'm such a dunderhead because I didn't realize the size and scope of this convention.
It's big.
Yeah, it's as big as San Diego Comic-Con now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
NPR
huge.
did a feature on it this weekend. LA
nice.
Times did a feature. It was featured in the New York Times. I mean, it got a bunch of media coverage. I guess this one is huge.
It's huge, and they did something interesting, which is it's too bad because of the heat wave, but they moved all of the to get your badges and all that kind of stuff outside.
Fantastic.
Oh, which would be a good idea. Other than
This one weekend, but
And the fact that it was 117 degrees.
Some
Yeah.
of my friends
Yeah.
had to edit their cosplays.
oh
Yeah.
for sure.
I
yeah.
imagine.
Because or switch around what days they did
Yeah.
them because they're like, it is too hot. If I cannot find a place inside to stand, I'm not.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
if you're a furry? Like what that would have been like?
Oh, yeah,
like
any
like
of-
furries in that
yeah.
environment.
Or
I mean, that
what
would
if
be
we have those big
awful.
armor
Yeah.
builds?
That
Yeah.
would be
Yeah, no way.
And for those of you who live in Florida or the Southeast, we're not just complaining. It was 118
It was at
degrees.
Yeah.
triple digits
Yeah.
for sure, above 110. And there was one of the days, I want to say it was maybe Saturday or Friday, where it felt like you were walking through a blanket of hot
It
air.
was Friday.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
just
Friday.
like, who
Friday was
left
the
the
absolute
blow
worst.
dryer
I know.
on? It was oppressive. But then it's kind of funny that on Sunday, it was maybe high 90s, and you're just like, that's not so bad because
Yeah,
it was
it
so
cooled
bad
down
the
to
other
the
day.
90s.
You're just like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But luckily, most of the LA Convention Center, you can travel most of it and stay inside. You don't actually have to go outside once
Unlike
you're in.
Comic-Con.
They had the three
Yes.
Vegetas meet for the first time,
Yes.
right? That was like the thing that caught my eye. As
what?
like,
Yeah,
the
they
three
had,
Vegetas
There's
met.
so many amazing things that happened. I mean, they had the My Hero Academia movie premiere,
Yep.
which
Cool.
I'm still so mad I missed, but I had to work. And they had also premiered the next season of Attack on Titan. Mm-hmm. So yeah, all us anime nerds went a little crazy.
Yeah.
It was really exciting.
What's the three Vegetas? What is that?
So
Different
the-
voice actors.
Yeah, the three
Yeah.
different voice actors that have voiced Vegeta. So I think there's 2 Japanese and 1 American, but they all 3 met for the very first time at a panel together,
Wow,
which I think
that's
is
cool.
I was
just,
looking
like,
over
the
that one
novelty
because
of
she's
that.
a big DB.
I'm a huge
Dragon Ball
That's
fan.
my one tattoo is actually.
I get
Dragon Ball Z.
that's the main anime, and I know that's like the anime, but like I love Dragon Ball, all
It's
of
so
them,
good.
and like the idea of the 3 Vegetas meeting is such a beautiful moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was a new thing this year too. So the regular exhibit hall standard stuff is the same. It was good layout and everything. They're letting people sit on the ground now around the edges. Before security would be like, nope, not allowed.
Yeah.
And they're like, too many people. You can sit. They added more tables in a bunch of places. So I'm like, well, that's better. Also, they made it 18 over area, like a curtained off area. So no more post-it notes, no more hiding that. You can just walk in and it's titties everywhere. And you're like,
Wait, is that where that
oh,
blow up doll was?
And I
The
have video
virtual
of
blow
it,
up
and
doll?
I saw it too. There was a essentially virtual
Going
sex doll
ham.
experience you could have. They had like a blow up doll. You have the VR goggles, and there's lots of video of people
Guys,
essentially
we're
humping
getting
these
straight
dolls.
down and dirty.
But
Yeah.
okay,
And
apart
this
from
is-
that
this is
region,
not Comic-Con.
But besides that, I
Yeah.
thought it was a great idea to have a separate ATN over area because I talked to one
Yeah.
of those booths and they were saying how it was much easier for them because anybody who's in there, that's what they're there for. So it's not like some random person and they're kind of like, what is your area about? And they're like, adult games.
Is that
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that it's such a big, huge part of
Yes.
the anime culture and the Japanese culture. So it's not that weird. I know it sounds weird to like comic book fans when you're like, you have a convention where there's basically just like cartoon porn.
But Adult
But it's
Con
just-
is at the same convention center, right? Like
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
you know.
But I mean, but it's still just a part of anime,
Yeah.
and so it's just like it's not as embarrassing, I guess.
Yeah.
so in a way, like the rest of the convention was able to be a little more family friendly, maybe having like that section.
Well, because
Yeah,
before,
separated.
like, you
sure.
would have the design, whatever is up, but they just put like a post-it note over the nipple or something, and you're like, but you could still see it. So it was nice to have it in their own area.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple of their separate adult booths who, you had to go inside. But yeah, that makes it better because anime is all ages, kids and adults. The 21 and over area, which is kind of like where you can get drinks and lounge, that's a bigger space. So some of it they did definitely improve. There's some. Not everybody's on the same page of communication, but besides that, and lineage, but otherwise.
Cool.
I
Good.
did have another friend of
Yeah.
mine who went, who was telling me a little about it. He said it was a huge crowd. I think he was saying he thought it was like 80,000, but I don't know. From what you guys were saying, it might have been more than
It's
that.
definitely.
It's
He
a
also
lot.
said that
yeah.
he was drunk pretty much the whole time because he just turned 21.
Yay!
Yeah. But
They
yeah,
have a
he-
beer garden too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which is a
That
newer
sounds
thing.
amazing.
Yeah, not to mention all like the
I've only
Funimation.
done a
like,
commission for AX. I've never gone.
And then
Yeah.
they have offsite parties. And so, yeah, it's definitely a really fun con. And even if you're new to anime, there's lots of industry panels that are just like, here are our new products, here are our new shows for the year.
God, I think this is
There's a
my-
lot of screenings, so you can get into
and
it.
Anthony's
News.
trying to.
Yes,
Yeah,
Anthony.
That's fine, we
I've
can move on.
never
By the way,
been-
this is Anthony, our producer of the show.
I've
Yeah.
never,
Hi.
I've never
Engineer.
been to this con before, but I just realized that it has my 3 favorite things, which is beer, anime, and porn. So I'm
You totally
I'm
need
so-
to go, dude.
I'm so there
You were
now.
wondering what
Go.
our rating of our show was.
Lots of free stuff. Like, it fluctuates every year of what things you get, but there were a lot of nice industry booths that were giving, like, oh, you check this area out, here's a pin or here's a bag. Also, I do recommend Sunday's always the best day to kind of get those little knick-knacky things too, because some booths end of the day are like, yeah, just take it.
Yeah.
You don't want to take it home.
Yep.
So that's the best
Well,
day.
also you can negotiate prices a lot
Yes.
better for that day. So
Always
if
buy
there's
comics on
yeah,
Sunday.
if there's like specific figurines or something that you
Yeah.
want, and they still have plenty of, it's the best time to kind of
right.
negotiate.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and move us on. We
Yeah.
have a lot to cover real quickly. Cheeseman
I see.
is on a
Hey.
couch.
Yeah,
You can
not
see-
a couch, but a couch.
Cheeseman is on a couch eating ice cream, watching the show. Also, I want to do a quick shout out again to my buddy Mad Max, and also another friend of mine, Crispy the Clown, is watching tonight, and he wants to know, why don't we cover clown cons? And Crispy, you're gonna have to tell me where those are at, and we will cover those. And apparently, no, he says they're big and they're crazy.
we
and
try to include everything on our list.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
You know?
But usually anything that terrifying would be covered in the scare guy.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Crispy the Clown is pretty safe. He's not pretty scary. All right, Derek, can you go ahead and give us the bulletin board? What
Bulletin
cons are coming
board.
up?
So this coming weekend, July 13th through 15th, is Atlanta Comic Con in, of course, Atlanta, Georgia. And then next week is the big dance, July 18th to 22nd, San Diego Comic Con. And you still have this thing on here.
It's
like
not
this
10
is-
weeks away.
It's 1 week
So-
away. It's 9 days
days.
from right now.
It's next week.
People are going to be there. And then during the same weekend, July 21st to 22nd, North Texas Comic Book Show is in Irving, Texas. Excuse me. The following week, July 27th through 29th, Raleigh SuperCon in Raleigh, North Carolina. And that same weekend, July 28th to 29th, is Midsummer Scream in Long Beach, California.
Yep.
For horror fans, I assume. Yes.
Yeah, that's for horror fans. We'll cover
Oh
that
my
more.
God.
Yeah.
We will cover that more on the
Yeah.
Scare Guy show, which we'll be doing more of after.
Yeah, which
San Diego.
I'm sure we'd love to talk about it now, but we've
We're
got
not going
Comic Con
to.
coming up. All right, August 3rd through 5th, Comic Con Honolulu is in Hawaii, and
Fantastic.
also August 3rd through 5th is Tampa Bay Comic Con in Tampa, Florida.
All right. By the way,
Also-
this is Crispy. This is Crispy the Clown. Do you think he's pretty scary looking?
Yeah, dude.
If you're afraid of clowns, he is, right? if you're not
So,
afraid of clowns, it's fine.
Katie.
The guy who's the owner of Temple of Geek, the website.
Yeah?
He apparently is from Texas, and he was talking about how they have really good conventions in Texas.
Oh, yeah?
So if anybody wants to go to a really good convention, apparently Texas has really good ones.
Yeah,
Nice.
Sadamus
So-
Kame-Con, was that it? It was his first
They have
year
one
ever.
at the same
I don't know.
time as Comic-Con.
And I was gonna say it's a little bit after, but September 13th through the 16th is Hawaii Con.
Hawaii kind.
And in between those two, August 25th is Amazing Con in Honolulu. Amazing Con was the one I just did in Vegas. Amazing Con are some of the best people I've ever worked with. So,
So if you-
Amazing Con are great.
If you were looking for 6 weeks to spend in Hawaii,
Yeah,
Maybe-
apparently
yeah.
it's con season.
there
Yeah.
were 3
In
different
Hawaii.
Hawaii cons. That
That's
was
great. Go,
go
for
from the
them.
1st
I
of
think we should
August
all
to
just
the
take
middle
a
of
vacation
September.
to
Yeah.
Hawaii.
I think it sounds great.
Evangeline Lilly's going to be there. They have a
Ooh,
lot of big
I'm
Marvel
there.
presence. It's her exclusive. That's the only con she does. She's fantastic. And Amazing Con, everyone I dealt with are like some of the best people. So just support them.
So before we go on any further, I would love to introduce our guests that we have on the show today.
Yeah.
These strange people that you guys see. A lot of you probably know Koik because he does Marvel movie news here in Popcorn Talk. Koik, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Anything that our fans might be interested in?
Yeah, I host a lot of places. I love it. I used to act, and then I did an episode of Screen Junkies called Please Explain Deadpool, because I've read Deadpool since I could read. I love that character, and it's come into my life in such a strong way. I was in Amazing Con with the cast of Deadpool 2 and Rob Liefeld, and it's crazy how much Like, I don't believe in the secret per se, but man, I love Deadpool, and man, Deadpool's my life a lot. So it's been really cool because I did this episode of Please Explain Deadpool years ago, and then all of a sudden I like met a little kid in the street, and he was like, that thing you said about Deadpool is what I think. And one, you shouldn't be reading Deadpool yet, kid. But two, it was really cool to be like noticed for your own opinion. So I started hosting a lot. So I'm here. I do a fair amount for Screen Junkies. I'm the speed round champion. I'm at Collider. I'm on Collider Heroes. I do some stuff for Nerdist. I just did Nerdist News Talks back last week. And I pop up on Geek and Sundry whenever I can, usually for Deadpool and Spider-Man. And I also host a game show called The Arena, which is it's 3 times a day. It's a phone app game, and there's 2 mobs. So you join a mob, and then you do trivia stuff. So like Donald Glover versus Danny Glover. So you decide, am I a Donald Glover guy, Danny Glover guy, and all the questions kind of go around them. So it's pop culture based. But basically, I love the internet because it's this amazing thing we've designed where you get to share everything you love with everyone possible. So I'm on a one-man charge to change it to be a force of positivity because we grew up with a Spider-Man shirt that I'd hide under my Abercrombie bro wear, and then now I get to talk about it for a living, and I just think it's so cool, and I love the community that DC has and that Marvel has and that Image is building, and that Extreme Comics is going to be on Netflix. Rob Liefeld has his own corner of Netflix, and that's like reading Wizard magazine to now, like where we've evolved. So being on a show like this, talking about not just comics, but the specificity of cons, the specificity of
the experience of it.
There's so much going on that we can have a show about an experience, about a thing that we didn't talk about in public 10 years ago.
I know.
So, like, this is just such a magical time, and I love that I get to host for so many networks that care. And my favorite thing is, like, people reaching out, like Twitter and Instagram, sharing that zeal. Like, the idea that people can go, I love Deadpool as much as you, and then we all come together and, like, have this amazing moment. And Spider-Man has always been everyone's guy. So, my favorite thing about Civil War was seeing an entirely new generation get a new Spider-Man. Like, just being in that theater and knowing it was about to happen, because I saw that movie like 9 times. Yeah. But like, here it comes, and having like all these kids just like see someone their age just like identify with, and it's just, we live in such a great time that toxic fandom doesn't make sense because we're all winning.
Right.
So cons, it's about bringing people together. The internet, I think, is doing the same thing. So thanks for having me, and thank you for the internet for letting me share this.
Gosh, thank you for all that enthusiasm. I just want to give him a round of applause.
I just applaud the happy words.
Yeah, it's happiness.
Like, introduction, I'm like, 17 minutes. I'm sorry to take your show.
No, that's what it's for.
Yeah, I just love the internet, and I love hosting. So thank you guys.
Well, thank you for being on tonight.
Yeah.
Also, and Kara, you brought a guest with you tonight.
Yes. I'm very excited. I'm like, yes, this is my friend Ruth Ann. She is amazing. We actually met doing background work on film.
7 years ago? 7-ish?
And we had a mutual friend, and we just happened to be on a bunch of stuff together because we were around like the same age group and same look enough. Before I didn't have blue hair, but you know.
And when I still had normal color hair too.
So we just bonded, and we learned like, oh, you're a nerd, I'm a nerd, awesome. And then she does so much stuff, which I'll let her talk about.
Tell us about yourself then.
So me and my business partner, Chris Simon, we started a company called Geek Chic Promotions, and at first it started off as doing events, geek pop culture themed with a nice chic look to it. So it wasn't cosplayers, it would be just a very like nice like details to everything and all that kind of stuff. And we started with that and became pre-parties and after-parties for conventions, and then it blew up to us doing the programming and panels for up to 6 conventions a year. We try not to do more than that because it's a lot.
That's fantastic.
And now we also help with sponsorships and branding partnerships of different conventions, as well as influencers and other such companies, as well as we do our own live streams, and we have a great time doing it. I have Ruse Day Tuesday because my nickname's Rue. And we just talk about whatever throughout the week. And then every weekend on Saturday, we do our Weekend Rager Nerd Rage, where we drink and very passionately discuss the geek pop culture news of the
Anthony,
week.
that's right up your alley.
Yeah, dude.
That sounds great.
Sign me up. That's
right?
amazing.
We'd love to have you guys on. At San Diego, we'll be live with Ming Chen because he's one of our really good friends and he's always wanted to be on the show. So, yeah, it's going to be super fun. Yeah,
nice.
We will be at San Diego. My business partner, she's been brought into the Skybound family, actually, and has been working with them since January. And so we'll be working the booth for Skybound, which is connected to Summoner's War. So I will be there from Tuesday till Monday next week.
Fantastic.
Working the booth, and then all the events afterwards, including the 15-year anniversary of the Walking Dead comic book.
Oh, man, cool.
Whoa,
So,
it's been
yeah.
that long?
It's been 15 years of the
Is
comic
that
book.
crazy?
Yep.
All right, so let's talk comic. Thank you for being on the
Of
show
course.
tonight. This is such an insider's experts kind of level group of people
We
tonight.
got people in the know. Who
In the
really
know,
talk
I know.
about stuff.
Gosh, I
Yeah.
feel like such a.
You and I might not have that much.
I know. Let's just give it up. Anyways, we got a couple of things to talk about real quick before we are going to talk about the panels tonight. All the can't miss panels, right up your alley, and I get yours as well.
Yeah,
You were-
man, there's
you're-
so much.
You were
There's
telling us
so
some
much.
secret stuff we won't talk about, but wow, that's exciting type stuff. But anyways. One thing that's happening before we all head down to San Diego this coming Thursday night over at Hollywood and Highland, the Infolist party put on by Jeff Gunn. If you want to go, you can find the link on our website. We got an article up right now. You just have to RSVP, or you can get VIP tickets. And there's some kind of code on there you can use to get like discount tickets. Gary, you went last year, and it was kind
I
of fun.
did.
Yeah.
I cosplayed. It was fun. Kind of had like a clubby version of Quicksilver.
Yeah.
And then my husband dressed up as Xavier.
That's
I
really
remember.
cool.
So that was
I remember
fun.
That was very fun.
Have you been?
No, I like remembered I needed to do something on Thursday, and I couldn't remember what it was until you reminded me.
And Derek, you went with us 2 years ago, right?
I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, that was the first one, wasn't it?
that was the first one that I knew
Yeah.
about. I think they had it before.
Okay.
But I would say also you don't have to cosplay because I know some people go, I don't know, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's like just nice wear.
And often it's
to-
just a handful of people are cosplaying.
Yeah,
and
it's
enough
not
that
like
you won't feel out of
everybody.
place if you do.
Yes.
But-
Either way is comfortable.
But not so many
Yes.
that you won't feel out of place if
Yeah.
you don't.
Exactly.
Have you guys ever gone? My first Comic-Con, I cosplayed and didn't know people changed before the nighttime activities. So no one gave me the memo. So I was at my first
incredible.
Comic-Con.
Well, wait. What were you wearing?
I was Heath
though?
Ledger's Joker because this was a while ago.
Fantastic.
And
Okay.
I actually did Heath Ledger's Joker for WB for a theater promotion. So I have
Yeah,
a screen
cool.
accurate Heath Ledger's Joker. My hair was long. It's all like
Yeah.
it's exactly
That's
that. If you Google
awesome.
my name, the Joker still pops up a lot. So I was that Joker at after parties, and I was the only one. So I'd be like, I met so many of my heroes as the Joker, and then had to be like, I had to re-meet them because one, I hope they don't remember me. Two, they can't see through this. Three, what is this nightmare? It's like when you wake up in high school and you're naked giving a speech, but you're the Joker, and like people are breakdancing and they're very famous.
Depends on what cosplay you have. Because I did it as
yeah.
Tomb Raider, and that totally was fine.
Oh, yeah.
But that's also
That's
like
more
Very
casual.
low key.
It's a little more low
Yeah,
key,
you're
Yeah.
but
like
it's,
green
it's
pants and
recognizable.
Oh, certainly,
That they're
yeah.
just like, yeah, that's the thing. So, I mean,
But if you're at Maxim and you're like standing there and
makeup.
there's people like doing like fire treks and magic and they don't know if you're part of the show or like part of the guest list,
That is
and you're
a-
like,
Uh-huh.
you're
Yeah, it was
no,
definitely
I'm just one
special.
guy. Oh, no.
How
My
much is
weird
that
one.
party?
I'm sorry?
What's the cost on that party?
Completely free. You just have to RSVP.
Okay.
Completely free.
and that's Thursday.
If you want to go, I
Thursday.
have RSVP'd for a group of us. So
Okay.
anyone who wants to go.
I'll.
It's Thursday. It starts at 8ish or 9ish, but it goes until 2.
Okay, because I want to ask a couple people if they want to go too.
Yeah,
All right.
There's,
There you go.
there's parties all the time. Like
Yeah.
I'll be at the DBZ party personally.
At the what?
The Dragon Ball Z party.
Is that this Thursday?
DBZ.
The Thursday. Oh no, this Thursday or
This-
the
Yeah,
Thursday?
this
Thursday.
Thursday.
This
This is
Thursday.
the
Oh,
pre-
shoot.
Because
this is
it's
a
a
pre-con.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
pre-party.
I'm already like so focused on like it's the con right
Next
now.
week.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I wake up and I go to the con, right? Right now.
And speaking of parties, next week on this show is all about the parties and offsite. So we will be going everything that
Ooh.
is not inside the convention center. That's what we're going to be talking about. If you are ghosting the Comic-Con, or if you just want to get outside, that's what we're going to be talking about next week. So, and there's a lot. There's a whole lot going on. All right. So real quick. Nerdist has a house. I just wanted to bring this up because this is kind of cool. They have an offsite Nerdist house.
Yeah, I just got the invite for that.
Was that kind of
It's
cool?
really cool.
Yeah, the thing is like because I thought that Nerdist was done doing. They're having actually talks and panels and parties and things, which is kind of cool because I thought they were done with that, but luckily they're not. So
That is cool.
that is kind of cool. This next thing affects some of us in the room, and it affects a lot of professional applications for Comic-Con for next year are open right now through
It's through-
August 16th.
yeah,
I
August
know,
16th,
they
and it's-
closed so fast.
And they've changed it now. We were
Yeah.
talking about this earlier, how it's no
Yeah.
longer qualifying as either trade professional or professional.
Correct.
It's just professional,
Professional.
which might mean that they're giving out fewer of them total.
It
It's hard
does
to
mean
say.
that.
Yeah, and
They're
but
gonna be-
and
they're gonna be
also they
stricter.
said they're gonna and of course they're gonna prioritize people who make comic books and
Which I
comic book
love,
directly related to
personally.
things.
I'm
Yeah.
torn on that topic, only because of how little the emphasis is on comic books at Comic Con.
Maybe they're trying to
That's
change
true.
it.
That
Like,
shifts.
if they're trying to shift it, that makes sense. But as it is now, I was kind of like, you're cutting out all the people that make the films and movies that are there from going. So I'm kind
Cool
of like,
studios are going to find a way. They got.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, like,
yeah, I know,
true.
but not the people who work for the studios. I'm saying
Yeah.
like anybody who works in movies and TV, and it's a con that's very focused on movies and TV.
And-
like I said, if they do shift it, I will
I
understand.
could tell it was being shit. Like this was it last year. A friend of ours. He is a producer. He produces big $100 million movies for Warner Brothers and whatnot. He couldn't get it past a Comic-Con last year, and we were like, what? Yeah, well, I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
And it was bizarre.
If it's the person I'm thinking of, I'm really shocked.
Yeah, it was kind of bizarre, and they said, well, because we're shifting a little bit more towards comic books specifically. Okay. So,
wow.
Instead of like just
They're
science fiction movies.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably just tired of the comic book nerds being like, this is not a Comic-Con. Like what you call it San Diego Comic-Con, it's not
WonderCon
Comic-Con.
this year felt great because it felt like the 90s. Like WonderCon this year was really special because, and once again, amazing con. Keep pimping you. I really liked that it felt like we were focusing on comics. People were selling comics. People were talking. The cosplays all felt like a unity. Like a couple years ago, like 4 years ago, that was kind of the peak for me of like there was a Twilight thing like 8 years ago. Then Game of Thrones took over and all those things, and I was like, but why is Hall H full of not comic? Like
it started in 2009 with Twilight. That's the year that I remember the break year.
That very
I also remember
specifically,
just like
the Dexter year too. I'm like, Dexter's a thing?
Same.
I went
Yeah, it
to
was the
I went to
year
Comic
after
Con the
was
year
Dexter.
after the Twilight thing happened. That
Well,
was my first
I
year.
was there 2 years before, like a year or two before that, and I was like, "This is great." And I wanted to stay for Sunday, so I walked up to the table, bought my Sunday ticket.
Yep.
Wow.
Wasn't that?
Oh, back in the day when you
crazy.
could walk up to buy your ticket.
But
for
then,
next
like
year?
the year 2009, there was camping out, and I remember James Cameron was in there. He was showing the first like 10 minutes of Avatar. I was super stoked to see that. Couldn't get in and see it because there's a movie. I had never heard of Twilight. I had no idea what it was. I just knew there was a bunch of 13-year-old girls.
That was a blessed time.
7,000 of them, and their moms waiting there. And
Yes.
no shade towards them.
No,
I mean,
not
at all. But it just changed the face of
Yeah.
Comic-Con, and it's never gone back. Speaking of never going back and things that aren't really comic related, Conan tickets went up. The email went out today. I got my email. I am now on the wait list for Thursday and Friday. A lot of people didn't get their email, so I don't know. It's some kind of random email out. You have to make sure that in your member ID you are accepting third-party emails or something like that. I don't know how it worked.
Check your spam folder.
Yeah.
And they're doing a pre-access for people who have a badge. That's the email.
It is.
email
It is
says. Yeah.
badge holders only. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
for
right,
right
now.
now, yeah.
And there's a special discount code, which don't give out the code. All right.
And I know you have it on here, but the
ahead.
exclusives.
Yeah. Can you go ahead and tell us about that?
So the exclusives we talked a little bit about last week, but it's basically normally you'd have to wait in line at probably like 6 o'clock in the morning to try to draw a ticket to go to your favorite toy booths or your favorite signings. Like usually WB and Fox are the big ones, and this year they're doing it all online. So you just go to the exclusive tab once you log into your Comic-Con page, and you can it shows you all the options, and then you have to click the terms and conditions, accept every single one that you're interested in, and add to cart, and then it puts them all in. But you have to submit those by.
Was it
This,
today?
No, it's the 12th
12th.
at
Okay.
noon.
Yep.
So,
Thursday
but
at noon.
The Funko ones are already gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
So those are no longer up there, but everything else is.
Okay.
Lego.
Pre-sales on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Funko must have. I don't know. I didn't
They're kinda
see if there
popular,
was
though.
fine print saying they were pulling theirs early, or maybe they were just like we've hit the max.
I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking.
So
And friends back home, Vermont, New York, I can't get you exclusives. I love you. Please stop emailing me. I cannot. I'm going to be exhibiting, and you heard her. I can't. I'm sorry. I
John
love you.
Harrison in the live chat says Twilight doesn't get enough credit for getting young girls to read. I agree, young girls and young boys. Twilight started a lot, so all the crap Twilight gets, I read all of those books.
We're not
and-
hating on
No, I just wanna
Twilight.
make sure
It
the
just-
internet
Also,
knew. It
I
just
went to-
changed things.
I went to a horror panel, I forget which year, but they were like, Twilight is a gateway drug for kids to like read and get into horror. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a good point.
But so is Harry Potter, which is celebrating 20 years this
Yes.
year at San Diego
20
Comic
years.
Con.
Way better written.
20
Oh,
years.
that
Yeah.
doesn't make us all feel old.
All right. So I think the last thing here, the Toucan Tracker wristband policy returns again this year. This is for Hall H. And Katie, you had a bad experience with that.
Yeah.
Really quick, if you can tell us what happened
I'm
last year.
very interested to see if I was interested to see if anything would change this year, but it didn't.
Well, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Look for an explanation of how the wristbands work on page 9 of the 2018 Quick Guide, which we won't get until
Oh
we're
yeah,
on
I didn't
site.
read that yet. But yeah, because last year we got our wristbands for Saturday, whenever WB is. It's either Friday or I think it's Saturday.
Yeah.
So we got our wristbands the night before, like we always do. And then they always tell you, like, be back in line by 7. And if you don't get back in line by 7, you will be sent to the end of the wristband line. And if you want, it's first come, first serve. So even if you get a wristband and you were the first 300, if you're 500 people into the line later, that's just how it is. And we didn't get into Hall H for the first panel. And we had wristbands, and there were still, like, a full, they had, like, 3 shoots, and almost, like, 2 of the shoots did not get in. And we were like, what's going on? No one came and told us anything. We're just like, why are we not inside right now? And then there were some people being really rude, like, well, maybe you guys should like get there earlier. We're like, no, we got here on the time we were supposed to be, and it tells you on the wristband like this guarantees you for the first panel. It doesn't say like eventually. So basically, lots of drama happened, lots of angry people, and then finally the president, I forgot his name, the
President of Comic-Con.
Yeah,
Came
he
out and talked
eventually
to you
came
guys.
out like 2 hours later after all of us were trying to talk to security and be like, what's going on? We missed all the WB film panel, and he came back and was like, hey, like, I'm sorry, and like everybody who was stuck outside got their badges comped for this
For
year.
this year.
Yes.
Wow.
Cool
So
of him.
That's
mine,
I mean,
Yeah.
I got to
Yeah.
give him props
Yeah.
for that.
Also, there's a president of Comic-Con.
Is it
Oh, of
great?
course.
Is he like President
but
Snow
like
in
he
the
was
Hunger
getting
Games? What is
handshakes
this
from
man?
like everybody that was,
He's a toucan.
and
He just
there
wears
was still some.
toucan outfit.
There was a lot of people that were like, why didn't we get them? We're like, well, you saw the WB panels.
And they figured out what happened is somebody grabbed one of the wristbands.
Yeah,
and,
that's the
and he counterfeited like 500 of them. That
from
night.
what it looked, from what we heard.
And then he sold
or
them.
saw.
Right, or
Oh,
something
wow.
like
We
that.
saw a video of this guy like with like.
So we'll see
I
what the
mean,
badge policy is this year, what the badges will actually look like. I bet you they're not just going to be whatever
I just
they
feel
were
like
last
they
year.
should just use the RFID technology, but that's just me.
Yeah.
But,
Right, maybe they will.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it
don't-
helps because like Hall H is crazy. The one time I ever went into a Hall H panel was 2008, and like you said, that was before things blew up. But you still had to wait in line 6
yeah.
hours, and we went to the first panel of the day, which was the Watchmen panel.
I remember
'Cause
that.
oh yeah, that was a good panel.
Yeah.
But then like, what was it? The year or two after, the kid got stabbed in the eye with a pencil, right?
Oh, in the arm.
In the arm.
It was in the arm with a pencil.
Oh, okay. But either way,
Yeah.
got stabbed with a GD pencil over a
But-
seat.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, huh?
That's
Yeah.
why we didn't go to the Supernatural panel for the first year ever, and then Kansas showed up, and I was like,
Yep. Well, speaking of panels, I think
we need to talk about our.
we need to talk about
do.
what we're going to do is we're going to break it down by the days. Wednesday, which is preview night. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday. Anyways, Wednesday through
All the
Sunday.
preview.
Wednesday through Sunday. First, though, pimp out what you guys will be doing. What is it that you are going to be doing at Comic-Con this year?
Yeah, so I'll be at the Summers War booth the entire time. So if you want to come chill with me and play some sweet mobile game and win some stuff, come see me. I have to check the booth again. It's going to be on the other side of the Top Cow booth, and it is booth 2629. So see you there. And then I'll be running a bunch of different events at the nighttime.
Nice. You're running events at nighttime? Mm-hmm. We'll let you talk about that in just a second.
Yeah.
And what about you, Koi?
I will be doing a movie fight on Thursday in the intimidatingly large room, 6BF, I think it is. And I am so excited. I love live movie fights. We did one at WonderCon. It oversold. There were people waiting, couldn't get in, and that was like 1,200 people. This is like 2,300, so I'm hoping you guys all get in.
I love movie fights.
Dude,
It's
I'm
so
so
fun,
excited.
yeah.
Yeah, like it's going to be a good one, so I'm doing that. And then if Collider has a presence, I'll be repping them. If there's a Collider booth, I'll be there on and off. And mainly, I didn't go the last 2 years, so I only wanted to work 1 to 2 days of this con. I want to do it. So if you guys want to meet up, tweet me. If you guys are around, I'm going to be anything Spider-Man, anything Deadpool, if it's my jam, I want to like be in there and just be giddy with everyone. Because I work so hard at these cons, I want to go like half civilian this year.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to just be like Spider-Man. So I'll be at Spider-Man, Deadpool, and definitely the Deadpool movie screening. And then please come to the movie fight. We're so excited.
Yes, and also let us know if that super secret kind of exciting thing happens, and we will proclaim it to
100%.
the rafters.
The
That's
moment
really
I'm
cool.
allowed to know.
Yes. Carrie?
Yeah, I am doing some regular stuff in general of like enjoying the con. I'm probably covering at least one press room, which will be fun. I don't want to confirm it just yet. And then also Wednesday is Game of Bloggers, which I am producing with Tony, and so that's exciting. RSVPs have officially closed.
Oh, wow.
Well, they closed on the 8th per the
Okay.
website. So
Yep.
if you read the instructions,
Which I did.
there were some people who didn't really read instructions well, but that's okay. But it is still open to general public as well. Just not the RSVP list. Just you'll have the line, and people got in just fine last year. It's like just don't show up at like 11 or something and be like, oh yeah, tons of room, right?
Happened to me.
Yeah, that's why I was giving you that look.
Yes, it happened to me.
Showed up to things late like
Like
that.
I know, I spent $200 on the Supernatural party, and I show up as they're closing the doors and saying goodbye. And everyone who knows me is like, wow, and he didn't blow up. That was a surprise
Why did you show up so late?
because I was at an AfterBuzz party.
Too many parties. my
Is
friend.
AfterBuzz going to be down there this year? Is there an AfterBuzz?
I don't know. I think
I
This whole
know
year
it's
has been like-
press. Yeah.
I mean, there's a
but-
lot of after buzzers down there, a lot of popcorn
Yeah.
talkers down there. I don't think they're going corporately this year.
Got it.
When did they have a party?
It was 2 years ago. It was really cool. They had the second
okay.
level.
Yeah, that was
I
pretty
didn't
fun.
go with them.
Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't there.
It's okay.
We've
I
done
ate
2 years
enough
ago.
food for Jim. It's fine.
She was there. I know, and I should. Anyways,
But yeah, I'll probably do like live stream stuff because that's what I've been doing. It's so fun. I did it at Sundance. I did Anime Expo, like live stream interviews, which I was surprised with how crazy it was at Anime Expo. It was able to live stream just fine.
cool.
Yeah.
Derek, you're going down, right?
Yes, I have to go down late Thursday night after my day job. But
You're bringing your lovely wife.
well, actually, she and I are working different days, so we're gonna like overlap and just like we
Girl,
might see
bye.
each other on Friday, but she's gonna be down there the first part. I'm gonna be down there the last part.
2
Fantastic.
ships in the night.
And I will be down there all week.
So no great couples cosplay from us this year.
That was stink. I'm on a panel that's for the second year in a row. It's called Full-Time Creative Work on a Part-Time Schedule.
What day is that?
It is on Sunday at
4?
4 o'clock. I just read the schedule
did
today
my
to find
research.
I did it.
and what it is, it's a bunch of people who are part-time, some of them full-time in creative geek professions, and how you can like make that your full-time thing, develop a full-time career on a part-time schedule. It's a lot of fun, and you get a lot of resources. Like this past year, one of the coolest things was a guy 2 years ago showed up and he wanted advice on how to publish this book, this sci-fi book he had written. So we sat there, we talked with him, we exchanged email. A bunch of people exchanged emails with him. He came back the following year and held up that book, having been published.
Yay!
That was fantastic. So that's what this panel is all about. They help. One of the first things you do is you go in and everybody exchange your business cards, exchange things, start
that's
working
cool.
together. And the whole purpose of and there's usually about 200 people, 200 or 300 people in the panel. They say everybody, the whole purpose of the panel is just for people to work together. Cool. And so it's really a cool panel. It's not
Very
as much of
cool.
a fan panel, it's an industry panel.
And it's
So
almost always later in the afternoon on Sunday,
Yep.
and then the people who lead the panel usually say,
this is
"Hey,
the
we're
10th
all
anniversary
going,
of it being
That's-
on that
Oh,
day.
wow.
That's really cool, man.
So it's really cool. All right. Let's start on Wednesday. Let's start right on Wednesday, preview night. If you have a 4-day badge, then you could probably have a preview night badge as well. All right, what's going on Wednesday night, guys?
That would be a game of bloggers.
All right, game of
Yes.
That's
well,
where I'm
because that
going to
one we it starts at 9 to 12. But those of us who are working probably there earlier set up, so no preview night.
be. All right.
But
But-
earlier, maybe.
There is something really cool that I was not aware this happened last year, but this for the second year in a row, New Line is bringing their Scare Diego.
That's cool.
It's
Yeah.
like it's their horror themed things. They're bringing to the Horton Grand Theater, which does not hold. It holds less than fewer
They're
than
small.
fewer than 300 people.
Wow. Okay.
And what it is, they're bringing
Yeah.
special clips and news about It Chapter 2.
So stoked.
The Nun,
stoked.
and some other horror surprises from New Line. New Line was built on horror, so they're bringing like Scare Diego is such a cool idea. You have to get tickets to this, but to get the tickets, you show up in Sales Pavilion starting at 2 o'clock on Wednesday, and you can get ticket. It's a ticket drawing, so you're not guaranteed a ticket. You have to like draw on it. Oh, you got one. So you get, and if you get one, you can get yourself plus one.
Oh, they're
cool.
letting you do +1?
Letting you do plus
That's
ones
nice
this
because
year.
a lot of the drawings it's just you, and you're like, so my
Oh.
friend's gonna stay over here. Okay, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
I'm-
nice.
Yeah,
we'll talk
sounds
about
better.
it more next time for the next episode. But there's actually lots of movies that happen at Comic-Con
Yep.
that you can go to for free and see
Yeah.
Yep.
advanced screenings and everything.
Some movies I've never heard of, but they sound really interesting.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool 2 Extended Edition.
Yeah.
Uncut extended, right?
Since that is officially almost like a panel, when is that happening?
That is, I believe, Saturday.
Saturday
There's
night.
a Hall H Deadpool panel that's separate, and then they're playing the extended with 15 minutes lovingly inserted back into the film.
It said uncut. So
I'm very excited.
That's the Anyways, so are you watching any of the preview? And also on Wednesday night they have all the previews of the pilots and new episodes, usually from Warner Brothers.
yeah, I've actually never watched any of those.
never
Because I know like a few years back. Oh, wow, more than a few years back now, I guess. But they did the Flash.
Yep.
But they showed the Flash at the panel. So
Yeah.
like I ended up
But
seeing.
they actually had the cast there.
Yeah,
right?
like it was like an hour and 15 minutes. So they showed the whole first episode and then had a brief panel discussion.
It's
So-
kind of cool. I've watched it a couple times. I've seen some shows. This year they have something called Manifest, which is I think an NBC show. Is it NBC? It's a Manifest, which is about it's an airplane show, an airplane that
the
crashes,
manifest.
and these are the people who survived or they disappeared or it's something supernatural. I don't really know very much.
I usually
about
try to hit the floor Wednesday night.
it. That's what I
Yeah.
do.
So-
The floor.
Before it gets
Recommend
too
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
Come see me. This is my first time going to be on the floor the entire time.
entire
so
time?
It's going to
Oh,
be
wow.
this
Bring
is gonna
your
be crazy.
food. Bring your food.
Yes. Bring me treats.
Well,
All
it's also
right.
a good time to explore and
Yep.
see the
The
floor
lay of the
before
land.
it's like
Yeah.
crowded the whole time.
I have found that preview night has gotten extremely crowded though. Like
Yeah,
it's
last
shoulder to
year's
shoulder
was
crowded.
pretty
yeah.
But not as
Crazy.
bad as Saturday.
Yeah.
No.
So-
All right.
Should
All
we talk Thursday?
Let's go ahead and talk Thursday.
Well, the Doctor Who panel is on Thursday.
So much excitement.
With, the new 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker.
So
And
Oh,
History.
did you hear
Right
who's
And
moderating?
new host,
Yeah.
yeah.
there. Oh, no,
Yes.
who is moderating now?
Fantastic. I'm so excited about it. Yvette Nicole Brown.
Yep.
So, by the way, most of the
She's-
panels
she's
didn't
the
say
new
who was
Christopher Plummer.
moderating, right? Because
Yeah.
I looked at them and most of them didn't say who was moderating.
They,
Oh no, they announced this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
a big deal. This is a
Yeah.
big deal.
Yes.
Because she's, and by the way, she
Weren't
comes
we
on.
talking about that ahead of time?
Yes,
we're
and we were
she should
predicting
do
it.
We're like,
Yeah.
we called it.
I mean, not only
And she's just great. I mean, she's just so
Yeah.
lovable and she's personable. She'll open people up. She's
Is that a choice, A, because of who the Doctor is, or because
Yes.
of what happened with Chris Hardwick?
probably no. Chris Hardwick was out,
Yeah, I know.
but,
But would that decision have
Was
been
that
made if
was it
he
made
hadn't
after
been?
that?
no, he would have still been there probably. But this kind of it makes sense. you
Yeah,
know?
no, it does.
It
but
just-
I'm just curious
And-
because he normally moderates
Yeah.
those panels.
She even said, she goes, I just want everybody to know this is not me trying to take the place and
Yeah.
elbow out my friend, Chris
Yeah.
Hardwick, but I'm doing this because she loves the show. And,
Yeah.
and she's doing the Walking Dead show panels as
Yeah.
well. So that's just
Sweet.
kind of
Yeah,
cool.
she's
I was
just
wondering who was
wonderful
doing
and
Walking
lovely.
Dead. So
Yeah.
Wait a second. I may have just completely given incorrect information. She's doing the Walking Dead panels. I don't know if she's doing
She's
this
not
one.
doing the Doctor Who.
I am so wrong.
Oh, I thought she
who's
was
doing Doctor Who?
I don't think that's been released yet.
Okay.
Okay.
I assumed it was her.
well,
but
she'll still be
I
great on the
assumed
Walking
it
Dead
was as
panels
well,
because
so I believed you for a second there.
I was convincing, wasn't
Yeah,
I?
no,
I
Okay.
thought I had
But so
seen
she's
her
doing
name with
she's
that,
doing
but-
Walking Dead.
She's
Okay.
definitely doing
Okay.
The Walking Dead
Okay.
because
Gotcha.
she was on Talking Dead all the
Oh.
time.
yeah,
is a
and she's
huge
everybody's
Walking Dead
favorite
fan.
guest
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Talking
She's
Dead.
great. She's a great host.
They bring her on anytime anybody dies.
Yeah,
Yes.
no,
Well,
she's
and other
just a
times,
good
too.
host. Like
Yeah.
she knows how
love
to
her.
Yeah.
pace everything and ask everybody questions. You know,
I mean,
she's
that's the
great.
thing of like when we're booking
Yeah.
like panels, that kind of stuff. Who's the moderator is very important because you have to pick somebody who A, won't talk too much
Yep.
like about themselves, but B, will make sure that they know everything about the the content and will give each person enough time and like really ask the questions that nobody's really heard before because you don't want to have the same thing over and
Yeah.
over again and then leave enough time for Q&A because that's the best part of panels to me.
So where is Doctor Who?
That's Hall H.
All
It's
ages.
all
Hall
ages.
H.
It's got to be,
Right.
man.
It's all
That's
H.
huge.
Although
Yes,
usually
yes,
it's on
it's
Sunday, so
definitely.
it being
They
so
moved
this
it to-
year
yeah.
Thursday to me was almost like a Saturday.
Yeah.
There's
Thursday's
a lot
got
of
a
good.
lot.
There's
Thursday
a lot
had-
of good
Yeah.
on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday has
Yeah.
more than any of the other days.
I'm sad that I'm missing it out. That I'm missing out on Thursday now.
There's a 10 a.m. panel I'm excited for Thursday. That's never happened.
Yeah.
10 a.m. Hall H, 10:30 a.m. My boy Shane Black, Predator.
Yes!
Finally!
I know, isn't that great?
I'm
So
so
excited.
amped for the world to see pieces of Predator. Yeah, and Anthony's ready. Dude, like
so
Sterling
happy to
K.
have Shane-
Brown
Shane Black
is gonna
again.
be there.
So
Sterling K.
excited.
Brown. If you don't watch This Is Us,
Yeah.
fix your life. just fix your life.
Fix your
Just
life.
every week,
He's
that's my
pretty
therapy
amazing.
session.
Yeah.
I just like throw on This Is Us, and I'm like, thank you for making me a better
Oh,
man.
very quick tangent. Have you seen Hotel Artemis? with
Oh
Johnny
God, yes. Shane's co-writer, co-writer Drew Pierce directed it.
Oh, okay,
That's
yeah.
why it's got that flavor. And that's where
Awesome.
Sterling K. Brown.
When we
ties
saw
together.
it, my wife and I,
Yeah.
one of the young actors from This Is Us, like one of the teenagers,
Yeah.
was in the audience behind us. So when Sterling K. Brown came on the screen, we heard a whoop cheer
Dude,
for him.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. LA's
Yeah.
magic for those moments. I'm so excited for this panel because we know so
Yeah.
little about the movie. They're
Yeah.
starting to put teasers out. They're starting to put trailers out, and then in September it comes out. So Predator is Shane was in the first one, and now he's like directing and writing the new one, which is
So
just
much
beautiful.
excitement.
Great.
So good. And
10
just
a.m.?
a little bit of news about this panel is actually 10:30, I think.
Yeah, it's just that's haunting.
Yeah,
It's
it
so
is. It's like they've advertised that the entire Hall H presentation from 20th Century Fox will be about the Predator,
Right.
Which is, to me, that's awesome. However, there are rumors that perhaps we're going to see the first Dark Phoenix images
At
in there.
Comic Con.
Yeah, but they said people asked them, it's like, oh, wait, we don't know what you're talking about, and so we might get that in there because that film's done.
Yeah.
that film's done. So
And
there's
done
So
and done
nervous
again.
about that movie.
yes, it's been done a couple times.
Yeah, right?
I hope that happens because we need like Fox to have some goodwill thrown our way. I'm personally very excited for New Mutants. I'm hoping for some New
Yeah.
Mutants
That would be
love.
great.
Yeah,
if
I
they
was
get in
gonna say
there.
I really hope they say something about that because I saw like the first trailer that I think
Yeah.
they
That
released,
really
and I was like,
surprised me.
so good.
this looks
Yeah.
really good.
And
So,
it really came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
get like a lot of. I'm a big
And how
X-Men fan.
interesting!
And, like,
There's a Stark girl in each of those two movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true.
for me, like I said, I was surprised by the Thursday schedule. I haven't seen Siren on Freeform, but I love Mermaids, so I want to check it out. So I might go to the panel that's the behind the scenes of it.
Yep.
But the Comic-Con unofficial blog retweeted a tweet about like things to do at Comic-Con, like for people who might not be veterans or whatnot. And one of the people said, go to smaller panels with
Yes.
people that you
I
want to
agree.
see.
Yeah.
Which so I
Yes.
always look at the names, and by doing that, I found out that in Ballroom 20 at 12:15. There is a panel on Tell Me a Story, which is the latest project
Yeah.
from Kevin Williamson, who did Vampire Diaries, in the reimagining of the world's most beloved fairy tales. So they come to like Three Little Pigs, Little Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel come to life as dark and twisted psychological thrillers, interweaving with each other against the backdrop of modern day New York.
It sounds like a very cool series.
That sounds
And
good.
it has the star from Vampire Diaries in it, who I've seen at the Vampire Diaries panel for years and will sadly not see Vampire Diaries anymore. So I was like, I might go check that out. And like usually like Ballroom 20, like it isn't only in a 30-minute panel, so it's probably literally just like a couple teasers, but sometimes they like throw in some teaser footage. It really just depends on
And
the
Ballroom
network.
20 kind of becomes the TV panel.
Yeah.
Whereas Hall H this year feels like
Movies.
the studios
Yeah.
have all come back.
Anything Goes with John Barrowman. I've never been.
Yeah?
I've always heard great things.
He's so
Do you know when
but
that
I'm-
is?
I love him
That's
so
at
much.
2
That's at
at
2
the
in-
Indigo Ballroom, I believe.
Yep.
Yes.
But my friend from he does Geek Say What. They do their live podcast taping at the same time. So I don't know what I'm doing on that yet.
Choices.
Yeah. Pokemon Go is having a panel.
Yep.
And I'm super curious to see what they say because the last Pokemon Go panel really sucked.
That was in Hall. They bumped it up to Hall H like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Well,
and
when
it
it
was
was new.
terrible.
When
It
it was
wasn't
new.
a very
Yeah.
good panel.
This year
everything
it's
went
in,
wrong.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in
It
Ballroom
was,
20.
But-
it's like, it was
But
almost
it's also
a
not.
disaster.
It's also not just Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's on
Ingress
Niantic.
and everything that Niantic has coming
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
But I'm
When is
also
that?
curious to see what they say because, like, even though it's
3:30.
Niantic and Pokemon Go, Nintendo Switch is releasing a Pokemon Go compatible game.
That's
So I'm
cool.
curious if they say anything about that.
so where's that panel?
That one is it is in Ballroom 20.
At what
So,
time? You said
at 3:30.
3:30. Okay.
So basically, they're hoping to draw the people that still play Pokemon Go, which is still a lot of people, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
So
Yeah,
and then the
I
big
definitely
one.
second the going to small panels for sure.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I marked a few that sounded really interesting.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
I'm so excited for that.
Hall H.
Yes.
It's right before my thing, so I'm gonna have to run, but I'm so down.
It's going to be hard to get into that panel because everyone's going to get in there at 10 a.m. and stay there.
I
Like,
am planning on it.
Yeah.
And Better Call Saul. They're both going to be in there
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
to back.
I've never watched Better Call Saul
I
yet.
love
but
Better Call Saul. I saw. By the way, I have seen more Better Call Saul than I have Breaking Bad, and now because of Better Call Saul, I want to go back and watch Breaking Bad.
I watched. So this is one of those like I liked it before it was cool hipster things. I watched Breaking Bad the pilot on AMC, like
Hey,
when it
hey,
first
nice-
aired.
nice mustache,
You're right,
bro.
totally close. And I got a latte. No, but like when Breaking Bad debuted, it was this amazing. Like this is so special. Why is no one watching it? And then season 2, like it was not really much. And then Netflix grabbed it season 3. And I remember that year it was in Ballroom 20. And I remember there was a Breaking Bad panel in Ballroom 20, and I was like, this will never happen again. This is the last time it's anywhere even under 1,000. Like, because now it's Hall H and coming back, so it's really cool to see the growth.
the last
of this
panel
franchise.
was in Hall H.
The 10th.
That was at the
This is
last
the 10th
panel.
10th
anniversary, right?
of me being a hipster about Breaking Bad. Yeah, no,
And of
but-
course, Brad, a friend of ours, keeps on saying the rumors are that they're starting it back up. I'm like, there's
I
no
hope
way.
not. I
There's
really
no
hope
way.
not.
Yeah, makes
the
sense.
ghost of Walter White comes back to
Well, because here's like
avenge meth.
that show ended like that show ended damn near perfectly. So don't
Yeah.
It was
don't
beautiful.
touch it.
It was
It
a
ended so well. Like yeah.
What else? Okay, just so we
small
can.
one.
yeah.
I was just like, I like browsing for new shows
Yep.
too, because if
Yeah.
you're not up to date, you're just like, dude, I don't have time to catch up. Just looking through, I saw this one, A Discovery of Witches, a new series from across the pond.
I saw that. Yeah.
I'm like, that sounds fun, based,
based
on
on a-
fantasy trilogy.
Yeah.
Yep. That also sounds like a win. That's 1 p.m. on Thursday, Ballroom 20. So Tell Me a Story is right before, and also that's a great idea is when you find one where you're just like, I like what's before and what's after, because then you're like, sure, I'll go and sit.
That is how I did remember one thing I want to say about Thursday. Thursday is always the either Thursday or Friday is always the Brave New Warriors EW panel.
Yeah.
That's how I found out about it. I stayed in there because it was like, these people are going to be here. And I was like, wait, Matt Smith? Like, I walked in on Thursday and it said that Matt Smith was in this panel. And I was like, that's going to be the easiest Matt Smith panel to get into. So I went to it. And they always have a very good selection of like TV and film men that are kind of like up and coming. Like Freddie Highmore was on it a couple years ago, but this year I was kind of underwhelmed with the people they picked because I was like, I don't know like these names, like really. But like those are, when you're sitting in ballroom 20, you're probably gonna see some big name people. You know,
well, because usually when you're ballroom 20, you will sit through a couple of panels to get to the panel that you like, and you'll see some stuff that you've never seen
Same
before.
with Hall H.
Or even some of the 6 and whatever letters after ones have been fun.
6
I went,
ADE, yeah.
2 years ago, it was the Dead of Summer. They premiered the next
Yeah.
episode at that time, and I was up to date, so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm super excited about the show. That one had mixed. It was pretty darn full, but I feel it's still a show that people are like, what is this show? It's really good. But the panel before was like this author I'd never heard about, but it was super entertaining, so that's
awesome.
it's also nice to go early to learn more stuff.
But speaking of ballroom 20, Iron Fist, and I know some people are like, oh, that was the. I liked it. I liked
seen it
Iron
yet.
Fist.
Have you guys caught up on Luke Cage?
No,
haven't
not
watched
yet.
any of them
But
yet.
I heard. But the rumor is that.
See you.
Can I say you might like Iron Fist season 2 a lot because of things unrelated to Luke Cage? No spoilers. It's gonna be great.
Okay,
I'm making faces
I've
for
got
that.
to catch up. Anyways, no, Iron Fist is going to be there from
He's
Netflix.
so nice in person, though,
But
that I'm like,
I
I
know,
can't
but the
hate your
thing is,
show
like,
'cause you're
have
so
you heard?
nice.
Have you heard any rumors about this panel?
I have.
Okay, can you
You
tell
should
us?
go there.
Can you tell us rumors about this panel?
I believe that the poor young man who was only given 36 hours to be the master of Kung Fu might get his comeuppance at this panel. I believe the poor young man who's very nice in person will get to show some really cool footage that he's had a year to train and to actually be a ninja, especially after a non-spoiler about Luke Cage episode 10, minute 2.
Well, I've heard that Punisher's going to make a showing.
I believe this will be. They're not doing a Defender season 2.
Right.
I believe Iron Fist, they know, is an apology. So after season 1, they're like, what if Iron Fist season 2 is like, look what we can do if you give us a chance? I think it's going to be much more Heroes for Hire with a dash of Defenders. So I think that what they need to do with the Ballroom 20 panel is go, hey, we know what we did. Everyone get excited because of word of mouth because of this panel. So I recommend going to this panel because it's not just an apology, it's they know the word of mouth coming out of this is going to make or break an entire season of a show. So I think this is going to be the most revealing Ballroom 20 panel of the con.
You say there will not
Interesting.
be another Defenders?
As far as the contracts are concerned, Defender season 2 is not in the contracts.
Not yet.
And like the amount of like coordination in that is
It's
crazy. 'cause,
monumental, yeah.
I mean, Avengers is hard enough, but like adding a TV slot, the amount of time it takes to
Yeah.
shoot all these actors, like it's near prohibitive. So since it's not in the schedule, I doubt there's going to become in the schedule. So Iron Fist season 2.
What else, Derek?
For Thursday still?
Thursday, yes.
Okay, there were a couple of smaller ones that I had marked that if
Cool.
I were going to be there, these are both in 5A and B back to back. There's Behind the Cards, The Art of Hearthstone, which Hearthstone is the one game that I'm really addicted to. I don't keep up with gaming much, but this is one that I've got for free on my phone. I can play around in 10, 15 minutes and still love it. But part of the amazing thing is the artwork in it, and so this is stuff from the people who illustrate it and how they develop like the various cards with the characters and what their attributes are going to be. And that's at noon in 5A and B. And then immediately after that, 1 to 2 is the panel on the toys that made us.
I love that show
So,
so
so
much.
good.
I
So
just
good,
obsessed over it this weekend.
And I haven't met anybody who
Have you
has
guys
not
seen that
loved
show?
it.
Have you seen it?
Not yet.
haven't started
But we
yet.
need to go
Yeah.
faster
Oh.
through our days.
Oh, wow,
yeah.
we're on Thursday.
All right.
Okay, everybody picks one per day.
Oh man, okay.
And we'll go
I can
through
do
I got to
that.
pick one more for Thursday, though.
Okay.
The
Hurry
50th,
up.
50th anniversary of 2001, A Space
Yes.
Odyssey.
Or
Yeah.
just, we'll list them.
Christopher Nolan himself restored it. It
Oh my
doesn't say
God.
he's going to be there, but I think he's going to be there. That's going to be so great presenting
I'm-
this film.
I'm curious about the where to go.
gets me
The Charmed. I'm
Yep.
pretty curious.
Yep.
I'm very curious why they're bringing it back. I
I
don't
saw
know.
the trailer and I'm like,
No.
And it's 7 o'clock Thursday,
Member
6
berry.
p.m.
Yeah, do it.
Screen Junkies.
wait. Screen check. Okay,
Yeah, so
make
yeah,
sure.
my panel's on Thursday. I just one last plug. Sorry, guys. 6
Yes.
p.m., 7 o'clock, Screen Junkies movie fight. It's an hour and a half. We have 90 minutes. on
Those
Thursday.
panels are fun.
I love that.
so
I love it.
excited.
I love
goes
it.
fast.
Yeah, it'll fly by, but I'm so happy that we have so much interaction.
And I got to say, so say we all, 40 years of Battlestar
Yeah, that
Galactica.
looks
That my all-time favorite fandom. I'm going to be there. I will. Oh yes, you too, huh?
Yes,
She's very
I love
excited.
It.
What
I
else?
love
So
it.
I know I was gonna say, let's go per day. Just say the title of what it is and what time it's at.
Right.
So Friday.
Friday. Go first.
I'll go. All right, I've got several, but I'll point out this one. Inside the Big Bang Theory Writers Room is at 10:15 in Ballroom 20. Our friend Jeremy Howe, who's been on the podcast before, is going to be part of that panel.
I'm pretty stoked about the Paramount Presents. I want to see Bumblebee. I want to see all about it.
Tom
It's in-
Cruise.
Yep.
He's
Hall
coming.
H.
Is it
5 to
this
6.
Is this Universal? Is this Universal
No,
Day?
it's Paramount.
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 Oh no, isn't Universal today? Is it?
Universal's
is
coming that day
yes.
also.
Yeah,
Yes.
but the one I was talking about.
Oh, it's not. That's awesome.
Other than the big ones, I'm gonna say a more small one that I was excited about. Evermore Park in Utah. It's a immersive experience
Yes.
park, and they are going to be there to discuss like the creation of the living experience
sounds
park.
so
and
amazing.
I really want to know more about
Yeah.
it because I want to know if it's worth going to Utah for.
That's in
but
room 8
basically
at
it's
8:30 p.m.
It's a fantasy immersive theater with cosplay and interactive role playing all in one. And I really want to hear what they're going to share about it. Because it's the guy who is a CCO of it is the former Walt Disney Imagineer.
Nice.
So,
That sounds
yeah.
amazing. My big panel for the day, of course, is Universal Pictures Hall H 345 because I am so obsessed with the movie Halloween, and they are bringing the new Halloween movie is going to be there. Plus, M. Night Shyamalan's
Glass.
bringing Glass, the
Yeah.
sequel to Unbreakable and Split, and they were. What else is in there?
cool.
And Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, James McAvoy, Sarah Paulson. They're all going to be in there.
The Willis.
It's going to be such a good panel. I'm so
be so
obsessed.
good.
All right,
Okay.
you.
Doctor,
I gave
I'm sorry.
mine.
Oh, you gave yours.
Wait, did you say?
I have one more though. I got.
I have one
Okay.
more. Invader Zim. I love Invader Zim so much. I'm so glad
What?
that they're Invader Zim. Entered
They always
the,
have a panel. They're fun.
Yeah.
They have a good panel.
Room 1 to 2 in room 6A. Do it.
Okay, Friday, Vikings is back. I saw a little teaser on Twitter.
Bigger room.
Very exciting. That's Ballroom 20. Also, Star Trek Discoveries in Hall H.
Nice.
I'm part of both of those after shows. And are we on to Friday?
I got a very quick 3
Friday.
for Friday. Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
screening. It's not just a panel.
Yes, I
you
love
can
that.
See
You
the
can
thing.
actually see the movie.
Noon and 2 p.m. at the
Yeah.
Horton Grand Theater. You can see Teen Titans Go to the Movies. It looks so good. There's also a Sony presentation of both Venom and
Yep.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
So if you're
Wow.
wondering where I'll be, it is going to be the guy that's been the loudest defender of Venom on the internet, the guy that's been cheering Tom Hardy forever. Like that. That's going to be
Yes.
so. Venom looks good. Venom looks good. Internet.
Katie?
And then
I
the
like
last
it.
Oh,
one.
sorry.
My final one is Marvel's Cloak and Dagger is such a good show.
Yeah.
And I really think that this panel will be very like, look what we're doing, look where we're going, look how big it gets.
2 more. Dr. Horrible sing along blog reunion.
Yes,
The
that's
10-year
important.
yep.
Hall H. 10 o'clock in the morning. Like that is worth getting up at 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday.
Yeah.
And
Or at 4 o'clock in the morning,
the
depending on the line.
Hulu's world premiere screening of Castle Rock, which is based
Yes.
off of
Yes. I'm so excited
Stephen
about that.
King's.
Oh, that looks
Characters.
really good. Yeah.
So it's like Bill Skarsgård, everybody. I'm like,
Sissy
I didn't even
Spacek.
know about
Yeah.
the show, but I was like, yo, this sounds awesome. It's a screening. So I was like, I need to
And
do
I do have to say this. If you want to see Luke Cheeseman again get up in line and question his cousin, Maggie Grace, from the cast of Fear the Walking Dead, that's on Friday in Hall H. You will see that happen. Right, Luke?
Of course.
All right.
All right, Saturday.
Saturday.
Who's ready? Okay.
10 a.m. Oh, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Saturday, 4:15, Man in the High Castle in 6A. Did that.
Yes.
I'm like, these are all after shows, mine that. I love these shows so much. 6A. 6:45, Winona Earp in 6DE. Season 3 is coming out pretty much that week, so that'll be fun and exciting. But then also at 7 is The Magicians in Indigo. So decisions. It's going to be hard.
There's so many good panels. But
Okay.
like for me, number 1, the Orville. Oh my God. I would
Yeah.
literally murder to be on that show. I love that show so much. It is the perfect Star Trek show. I love it. Moving on.
Saturday, Avatar: The Last Airbender: Legend and Legacy, which I feel is
Ooh.
necessary.
Okay.
So
That's
good.
at 10 a.m. and 25 ABC. And then The Good Place panel is in the Indigo Ballroom at 11 a.m. If you have not watched The Good Place, you need to watch it. It is some of the most brilliant TV I've maybe ever seen.
Really?
I haven't watched
it
it
is
yet.
so
I've heard
good.
great things
I've heard
about
only
it.
Yeah.
great
I hear good
things.
things.
So Saturday for me, my friend Jess is on the show The Flash, and she's going to be at Comic-Con running the game. She's fantastic.
Who's
So
she
go.
play? Who's she play?
She's the daughter that just got revealed.
She's
on-
like
Oh, the
the,
future daughter?
Yeah.
She's the future daughter?
Yeah, her
Nice.
name's Jessica Parker
the
Kennedy.
whole
and she's,
season revolves around her next season.
I gotta watch The
so-
Flash.
Yeah.
So
She's
she-
huge. I love
She's
it.
amazing, and she's such a sweetheart, and she's going to be there at the panel, so ask her great questions because she's a lovely girl. And also, the Evening with Kevin Smith is a highlight every year. And also, there's this little thing called Deadpool that will be on Saturday in both Hall H form and in Go to the Horton Ballroom Theater, whatever it's called, from midnight, 10 p.m. to midnight.
Horton
Yeah.
Grand Theater.
I'm a
Yeah.
skip every party. Nothing matters to
No.
me more.
But get your tickets ahead of time in Sales Pavilion. You must go
Do you
get your
still have
tickets.
to get tickets for that too? Okay.
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna do that Wednesday.
Also, like, I found out that they were doing Deadpool 2, and I was like, yo, this is perfect. My cosplay is Deadpool. Like, it's perfect.
They will have a standby line, I
Like,
heard, though. Don't plan on
I'm just
it,
like,
though.
okay, I wasn't going to do
Don't
Hall
plan
H
on it.
on Saturday again, but Deadpool 2, like, panel, that's going to be a great panel. Like,
yeah.
you know it's going to be a great panel.
So room 6A, 6:45 to 7:45. Project Blue Book from History Channel. It's basically Project Blue Book is this same thing that existed during the 50s and 60s that documented UFO discoveries from NASA. So this is
Nice.
something that's going to be really cool. Also, Boom Studios, Discover Yours. That is on Saturday in the morning. Well, not in the morning, 12:30. It's morning for me, but 12:30 to 1:30. Room 24 ABC. Also, the Kaiju Kingdom podcast, Rise of the Kaiju Gen. I love kaijus. I love giant monsters. This is going to be over at the Neil Morgan Auditorium in the San Diego Central Library from 3 until 4. But you do need your badge to get into that. So those are a couple that I'm excited about.
Okay,
Yes.
Sunday.
One more.
Sunday.
One more.
WB
Sunday.
theatrical.
I'm
Yeah,
missing Sunday.
Because here's the thing.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
Sunday, yeah.
The giant Saturday panel, yes.
I'm hoping I get to see my man, finally, in Hall H.
Aquaman.
Yeah, totally Aquaman. No, Shazam.
Oh, that.
Oh, Zachary
man.
Levi.
Just
I'm
checking.
hoping so much.
That would be
but-
great.
That's your man? I love
Oh,
it.
I'm
yes,
hoping we'll get
yes.
some Aquaman footage.
And my best friend is hoping for Wonder Woman.
She's going to be there. Gal
Stuff.
Gadot is going to
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah.
As
All
a
right.
surprise.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday,
Sunday.
Legion
Alright.
and Hall H at 2:15.
Yep.
Excited for that
All
one, 'cause then
day
we
in
can
Hall
talk
H
about
for that one.
season 3.
Supernatural.
Yeah,
Every
there-
year, it is one of the best ones. When you think you should skip a panel, don't. Just wanted to tell you that. I've missed so many things because I was like, I'm not going to get in. I don't want to do it. I missed getting a free lightsaber, all sorts of stuff. Just
Oh, I
don't
love
do
it.
it. Also, Riverdale. So Supernatural, then Riverdale, then Legion. And also, this sounded fun. Cartoon Network Best Summer Ever Costume Ball. And I don't watch Cartoon Network, but that sounds like a blast. Like, I was like, honestly, it sounds super fun.
It's probably that much more
It's,
fun if you do watch
guest
Cartoon
judges
Network.
from some of your
know.
favorite
I would know.
Cartoon Network shows. They'll play games, share exclusive, never before seen clips, and hand out prizes. And it sounds really fun, like a fun party to end Comic-Con with. So.
Starship Smackdown, the final countdown.
that's-
Oh my God.
Sunday.
That's
It's
so
so much fun.
entertaining.
You
Yeah.
have to go see it. One of my buddies, Chris, is on it.
Yeah?
Chris Gossett, and it's so much fun, and it's so wonderfully nerdy. Like if you're a Battlestar Galactica
Yes.
fan, or like Star Trek fan, or Star Wars fan, or any like Firefly Serenity, it is so much fun because they just basically like go at it and argue which ships would win.
Will the
It's awesome.
Milano be assimilated
It's
by
so
a
awesome.
Borg cube? Will the Nostromo be
It's
taken over by
so
the
brilliant.
Rathars? I stumbled. I just happened upon it last year, and I was like, "What the heck is this?"
It's the
It
best.
was great.
Yeah.
I loved it. So that is when is that?
It's like the most
Rooms-
aggressively nerdy panels that you can go
Yep,
to.
room
It's
6A,
fantastic.
Sunday, July 22nd from 2:45 to 4:45. What else?
All right, well, now I've got a couple of like nerdy, brainy ones. This
Good.
is like the extra nerd level. But there's mental health in comics is at 2:30 in room 2, which is just really interesting to me when you talk about the kinds of issues that lead to stuff like, okay, what could actually be wrong with the Joker?
Well, we've
Yeah.
actually done panels like that at some of the shows that we do, where we actually have psychiatrists and that kind of stuff talk about Harley Quinn and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and really get like deep into it. And we actually did it for Deadpool
Yes.
at Comic Con Revolution.
What is
in
wrong with
Ontario.
him?
Yeah, and just like really went into it, and it was awesome.
My
There's-
friend Greg is he's a therapist.
Yeah,
and
I
he
love talking to
loves-
him about this stuff.
Yes, he-
And there's also a psychology of Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts, which was on another day, and I had to
Yes.
like
Such a
skip
good
over it
panel.
because
I
we were
went to at
moving on.
WonderCon 2 years ago. So
Nice.
entertaining.
And then another one kind of like that is the Science of Westworld. It's at 3 o'clock in Grand 9.
since Westworld is
Yeah.
not there, we might as well have that.
Yeah, which and that's really interesting because it's about AI and 3D printing and what makes consciousness, and yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to sacrifice my Sunday to give 5 prediction of what I think Warner Brothers is going to reveal because I forgot about the reason one of the reasons I'm going down there is because of the Warner Brothers panel. I think they're going to give us our very first teaser for Wonder Woman 84. I think we're going to get our very first full trailer for Aquaman. I think we're going to get our first teaser for Shazam, and I think they're going to announce Man of Steel 2 and announce Green Lantern Corps. These are my 5
Wow.
on camera. This is the first time I've said these predictions. I think that's what that's going to be, and I literally will probably be 10 a.m. like
And
Saturday.
they're not competing
cool.
with Marvel.
It's
so
the
they,
biggest opportunity opportunity to just like own the con. That
Yeah.
panel on Saturday, like Sunday is such a not a thing yet because that Saturday
Yeah.
panel, I'm ready to like just be blogging Sunday.
That's awesome. Kari, what about you for Sunday?
Oh, Legion was pretty much.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I do have to throw
I
this
did
in
that
here.
for show too.
I do have to throw this in there though. This was on for Friday. I missed this. Indigo Ballroom Cartoon Network. They have all their shows in there for that day, and it's always my favorite. I missed it the last 2 years. 2 years ago they had the big heat wave, and I was not about to wait. You waited in that line, and you would not let me budge. So, and then last year the line was just as bad. But I think it's gonna be shorter this year for one reason. Have you guys noticed there is no Rick and Morty?
Yes.
There's no Rick and Morty, and they
yeah.
just got picked up. We got to hurry up and finish up here.
Yeah, we got to wrap.
But they do have Robot Chicken, and they do have Bob's Burgers in the room. So and
Archer.
Archer's in there, and the good thing about that, you can wait in line with a beer. You can get
Yep.
a beer and just wait. That's one of the best ever. Any other things before we wrap up, guys? Because we do have to wrap up here. Anything else that we're missing?
One other quick thing that I had to because I geeked out hardcore on Friday, 12 p.m. in room 9.
Number 9.
Ruth Carter, the designer of Black Panther, is doing a costume design panel on the costuming for Black Panther.
Fantastic.
Black
That's
Panther
really
had some of
cool.
the best costuming I've seen in a long time, so I, as a costumer, have to
And
like
Katie,
try
they
to
have a
get
bunch of
it.
cosplay things. Like
Yeah.
Cosplay 101 is on the very first day, Thursday. Cosplay like second level is on the next day. So there's some cool cosplay panels in there
Yeah.
as well.
Related to that, there's a panel on Friday in Grand 9, 1 to 2, Afrofuturism, Black to the Future, which has Tim
That's the
Russ
best name I've
and
ever
Michelle
heard.
Nichols talking about like things like the concept of Afrofuturism and what roles for Black actors and characters that are coming
Black
out.
to the Future. What a
And
great name.
Michelle Nichols and Tim Russ, two awesome Star Trek actors. So
And
yeah.
Michelle Nichols will be there this Thursday night at the party. Guys, we do have to wrap up. We do
I'm
have
done.
to wrap up.
I'm done.
Thank you, everybody, for showing
all.
up
Yeah,
tonight.
thank
you.
We are going to see everybody down there. By the way, for those of you, we went really, really fast. We have a lot more. It's going to all be on the website. All of our picks. We'll be talking about everything that's great. Just tune in. We hope that you do subscribe to the podcast. Give us some good remarks. Where can we find everybody?
You can find me occasionally on Twitter at ConGuyDerek and just on theconguy.com.
You guys can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at COYJANDREAU and on the Trivia Arena app and all over Popcorn Talk, Collider, and everywhere. I love you guys.
You can find me everywhere with Geek Chic Promotions, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it.
Twitter at KT_Kristian with a C, or my cosplay Instagram, which is Katie's Fairy Tale. Took out the little underscore, so yeah, Katie's Fairy Tale, and that's where I post all my project-related stuff. So.
Fantastic. I knew it was going to be a long show tonight. There's so much more that we could talk
Yeah.
about. Anyways, you can find me. Just follow me at theconguy.com. That's theconguy, DOTCOM on Twitter. Check out theconguy.com, the website. Also, Crispy Clown, I knew you'd like the show. Anyways, we will see you guys down in San Diego. Check out next week. Watch Marvel movie news. Watch all of Kari's shows. We got a lot of stuff to still talk about. We'll see you guys soon.
See ya.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only, and not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.